This game is rated M for mature. Hey there everybody, redxparasite here, and welcome back to Let's Play Bayonetta 2. In the last episode, we finished out the first chapter, where we ran into Loki, and now we're traveling together, so we're trying to reach Fimbulventer. And that is what we will continue to try to do in Chapter 2.
So, our fates and our paths cross once again. Whoa! Bingo. Fleur de la Reine, Maid of Nerine, also known as diamond lilies, I think. The name Nerine is derived from the Nereids, or sea nymphs. Quite appropriate for this city.
Luka?
Will you quit calling me that? I'm not a pet, or a cat! Oh wait, you said Luka. Not used to that. How are you, Bayonetta?
No matter where I am, you always know how to make an entrance. Nice glasses.
Oh, these? Rodan has a soft spot for Shinshu sake from Japan. It was an easy trade to get him to make these for me. And don't get it twisted, Bayonetta. I'm not stalking you. This time at least. Look, I know you've got nothing but secrets. Hell, that goes for anyone, right? But if there's one thing I've learned in my line of work, it's when I found you, I found the story.
What on earth are you on about this time?
Don't act dumb with me. You know the story better than anyone. The Umbra Witches and the Lumen Sages, two clans that wielded incredible power just 500 years ago. Clans of the Overseer, watching over us all with the eyes of the world, the power to govern light and darkness. But now I know that there really was an Overseer. And this Overseer is the one who created the eyes of the world for humanity, the same ones that the clans held on to so hard. The Overseer was the true creator, the true god of the human realm, the god of chaos.
The god of chaos?
From what my research has told me, that god used to live right here in Noatur. That's why this place has gateways to each realm of the Trinity of Realities. La Porta del Paradiso, the doorway to heaven, and La Porta del Inferno, the real gates of hell. Listen, I heard about John. What the? Some squirrels get all the nuts. You're a lucky little fella, huh? Never took you for an animal lover, Bayonetta.
What can I say? I took a liking to one of the locals.
So he's your little tour guide, huh? Look, I know this isn't the time to chat. Let me see what I can find out to help you.
Just don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, Cheshire.
Don't you worry about my nose. I can smell trouble when I see it. You just take care of yourself.
So that was quite the bit of exposition dump that we got from Luka there. So right off the bat, there's a Muspelheim portal off to the right. If you want to do that, which of course we will, but gives a little bit of information about the god of chaos, the ruler of the human realm, and where the eyes of the world came from. And I totally skipped over what the objective for this one is. It is, we can only use angel arms, so as you can probably tell from the angel arms that are strewn about the arena. So I'm not sure if the first one operated like this, but in this case you have to use up all of the angel arms at least once before they will all respawn, which I think is different from the first game. So yep, that was pretty good. Almost got hit there once, but I just mashed the dodge button again and it worked out. But yeah, one of the things that I do like about this game is that it expands upon the lore of the previous game, so we're getting more information now about, you know, where the eyes of the world actually came from. They were kind of just a magical MacGuffin in the previous game. Now they have a little bit more of a meaning attached to them. And of course, it's always good to see Luka. He's one of my favorite characters. Yeah, not that the first game had that many characters in it in the first place, but it's still nice to have him back because I did like him. So down this tunnel, off to the right, once we get there eventually, is a chest. So this one has a broken witch heart in it. The one that we just got up above has a broken moon pearl. So that's all we need to do as far as collectibles and secrets go before we can move on. So we've got ourselves a new enemy here. These are enraptures. And the way that they will be... That was not very nice. The way that they work is they enrage other enemies that are around you, so it will make them attack more frequently. I think it might also prevent stun somehow. So generally when these guys are in a battle with some other enemies, you will want to take care of them first because they're gonna kind of make your life hell if you don't. Took a couple of hits there. So yeah, other than that, I did pretty fine. Off to the left of this pier is another journal. This is Rules of Nature. No matter the prosperity that modern technology brings, or the semblance of order civilization affords us, we can never truly overcome the power of nature. 500 years ago, a massive disaster renewed the fear of nature into the citizens of Noaton. A giant tsunami is said to have nearly swallowed the town whole. The cause of this wave remains shrouded in mystery. One theory postulates that an underwater eruption, whatever it was, the truth was swept to the bottom of the ocean along with the rest of the city. You would never think it, looking at the gentle waves that now brush the shore, but apparently whirlpools formed in the bay for some time after the tsunami, swallowing ships and people alike. And I did say at the end of the last part that we had gotten a journal entry for completing the chapter, so here is that one. What's the first thing that you think of when you hear the word witch? I bet you probably thought of some old grandma flying around on a broom, kidnapping children, and saving poor little girls with magic. I've got quite the personal history with witches, so allow me to teach you a thing or two about their kind. And let me tell you, they're nothing like the fairy tales. First off, they find the spiritually gifted members of their clan and put them through intense training from a young age. If their latent magical abilities aren't up to snuff, they're pushed aside, even if their bloodline is that of the clan elders. These candidates polish their entire mental and physical being, until they're grown women, and only those who are able to learn the complete repertoire of magic arts can then complete the final step to becoming a witch, a ritual contract with what you and I know as demons. In exchange for offering their soul to their contracted demon upon their death, witches are entrusted with incredible destructive powers. Witches with particularly impressive skills have the ability to push the limits of their magical powers and temporary control of their demon as if they were using their own arms and legs. Witches were said to have been completely killed off in the witch hunts of 500 years ago, but the ones I know are a little too tough, too smart, and too classy to go down that easily. So I know at some point that the game will just outright tell you that it's Luka that's writing the journal entries in this game. So if you haven't figured that out yet, that is who's writing these. So now that we have those out of the way, we're going to have a little scene here.
What's wrong? What's this?
Okay, so what the game wants you to do right here is to run through the tidal wave, while you're in witch time to get across. But once you dodge the wave, there is actually an optional burst here. These guys are being really rude. So if you want to do the optional first, just dodge the wave and then run back to the courtyard here. So all it is 3 enraptures and 1 accolade, but that's pretty easy to miss. So if you do this, you'll have to summon the wave again, but the developers obviously thought ahead, so don't have much to worry about there. The timing on this part is pretty lenient.
Where did you learn that trick, little one? I've never seen a witch, or a sage for that matter, pull off something like that.
Come on, love. You think I'm just gonna tell you my secrets when I don't even know whose side you're on? All right. It seems I can control the remembrance of time. That's a big deal here.
It seems?
I mean, no. I got nothing else to say, love.
The remembrance of time.
What's that you're looking at?
Right, let's go. I've got a party and I've no intention of being late.
Okay. Going into the room of prayer, there is a crow right here. Now, once you walk into this area, as long as that text pops in telling you what the room is, you've gone far enough. And if you go back to this area, there will be another optional verse. Yep. I'm not doing the best job of dodging things at the moment. Hopefully I can improve upon that as time goes on. let's move on. Right in front of your path here will be a note. This is Path of the Chosen. While checking for leads at the town library, I spied an old wall print between dusty volumes. The ancient print depicts the sacred mountain Fimbulventure and a long corridor emerging from the summit. The path leads through the Cathedral of Cascades, terminating in a tall tower within the city. If accurate, this print confirms that, while the tower is a shadow of its former glory, at one time there was a path from the town leading directly to the mountain's peak. Nothing too groundbreaking about that, but the next mural I found was harder to swallow, to say the least. It showed people walking directly up the walls of the aforementioned spire. I thought the sea air might have gone to my head, but no matter how I looked at it, the truth was plain to see. There was a perpendicular parade going up that tower. Were these the chosen ones I had heard so much about? Were these the chosen few who could walk the path to God, waiting atop Fimbulventure? Once you run to the center here, it will spawn in not technically a new enemy, but it is new for us. So this is another accolade, but instead of using swords, this one uses a hammer. Their swings are pretty slow. Of course, as soon as I say that, I get hit by one, but they do have quite the wind-up to them, so as long as you're not being terrible like I am, shouldn't have too much trouble with these guys. And that's all there is to this verse.
If you were gone, it'd all be...
For beating verse 5 there, you will get a gold hymn LP. So just run back to the very beginning of the area to pick that up. And that is William Tell Overture. Now there are two chests here on the left and right. If you open up both of these, it will start another optional verse. So there are actually a lot of optional verses in this particular chapter. So it'll just have the 3 different variants of accolades. It did not see that attack because the enemy was in my way. Yeah, I actually dodged too early on that one. They did alright on that, aside from damage. Talking about the story for a brief moment here. We're getting a lot of foreshadowing through these remembrances of time, and it will all make sense eventually. So, one last thing before you head up the stairs, there is a chest off to the right with a bunch of concoction ingredients in it, so make sure to grab that. I think before I end the episode off here, I'm going to head into the gates of hell and see what we can buy.
No rest for the wicked, even if I am jollier than the average demon. But no need to pity me. I was bored anyways. Be right back. This one's gonna be fun. Been looking for a workout like this for a while. Ta-ta. You know how they say life's a bitch? Try being dead for a couple millennia. Makes a demon cranky as shit. Don't think this demon will be complaining anymore.
So for turning that in, you will get a new weapon called Kafka, which is a bow. Now, I don't really have a lot of halos. I can't get much. Yeah, I think I'm going to actually save my halos for something else. But getting back to Kafka, I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's interesting to say the least. I mean, it does have good range on it, since it is a bow, but it is kind of weak compared to the other physical based weapons like the swords. So I think that will do it for this episode. So thank you very much for watching. I've been redxparasite, signing out.